A man flees Hong Kong after committing a brutal crime, only to end up working at a restaurant in South Africa, where he contracts the Ebola virus and spreads it in the most disgusting way possible. Hi there, welcome to Macabre Cinema. Today, I'll be summarizing Ebola Syndrome, a 1996 Hong Kong film. Get comfortable, because here we go. We start in 1986, where we meet Kai, a man having an affair with his boss's wife. From the very first scene, it's clear Kai is vulgar, filthy, and has an insatiable sexual appetite. One day, while sleeping with his boss's wife, the boss suddenly comes home with another worker and catches them. The situation spirals out of control when the wife betrays Kai, accusing him of assault. The boss beats Kai brutally, smashing a beer bottle over his head. Semi-conscious, Kai is humiliated as the boss forces his wife to urinate on him to wake him up. He keeps beating Kai and threatens to castrate him with a pair of scissors. Kai begs for mercy, saying he'll do it himself, but in the sudden move, he stabs the other worker in the groin, beats the boss to the floor, and strangles him to death with a table leg. Then he cuts out the wife's tongue and stabs her in the stomach. Kai even tries to kill Lily, the couple's young daughter, dousing her in gasoline to burn down the apartment. But another employee shows up and Kai decides to flee. Now a fugitive, he hides in plain sight in South Africa, working as a chef in his cousin Kay's Chinese restaurant, where Kay's wife constantly exploits and humiliates him. Meanwhile, young Lily, now a flight attendant, is assigned to a trip to South Africa to spend a few days with her boyfriend and friends. Elsewhere, Kai and Kay go out to buy cheap pork. They argue briefly with the vendor, but end up buying the meat anyway. Later, Lily visits the restaurant with her friends. The moment she walks in, she feels uneasy around Kai and decides to leave. That night, Kai goes drinking with a friend and impulsively tries to hire a blonde prostitute, but she rejects him, saying he smells bad and she doesn't like Asians. Kai is thrown out of the bar after causing a scene. Back at the restaurant, Kai masturbates with the bra of Kay's wife. Through the wall, he hears the couple having sex, and in a frenzy, he grabs a chunk of raw pork, carves a hole in it to mimic a vagina, and masturbates while listening to their moans. When he's done, he casually wipes the meat and puts it back. Meanwhile, Lily keeps having nightmares about the night her parents died and tells her boyfriend she recognized the killer's smell at the restaurant. The next day, some customers complain they got the wrong dish. The waiter tells Kai to swap the protein. Kai laughs and gives them the piece of pork he used the night before. Seeking more cheap meat, Kay takes Kai to a Zulu village. On the way, Kai notices a tribal woman who catches his eye and makes crude sexual remarks. They arrive during a ceremony for sick and dying villagers. Kay buys pigs and they leave without concern. On the way back, Kai crashes the car and argues with Kay. While Kay fixes it, Kai wanders off to relieve himself and spots the same woman, now disoriented. When she collapses, Kai's urges take over and he rapes her. Afterward, she convulses and foams at the mouth. Panicked, Kai kills her with a rock. Soon after, Kai develops a fever and collapses at the restaurant. Kay calls a doctor who can't find the cause. Kay mentions their visit to the Zulu tribe and the doctor says he'll investigate. Kay's wife, fed up, suggests getting rid of Kai, not wanting to care for him. Later, the doctor tells Kay that Kai has the Ebola virus, explaining the entire Zulu tribe is infected. He adds that some rare people are immune and unexpectedly recover. While Kay is away, his wife talks on the phone about killing Kai, but Kai, who miraculously recovers, overhears and attacks her. He's now a living carrier, immune himself, but able to spread the virus through his bodily fluids. Kay returns to find Kai attempting to rape his wife. When Kay fights back, Kai stabs him in the eye and strangles him with the door of the restaurant. Then, after raping Kay's wife, he bites out her right eyeball and kills her with a table. When the woman's cousin arrives, Kai murders him too. Kai chops up all the bodies, contaminating the meat with his saliva. The next morning, he uses the flesh of his victims to make African meat pies and serves them to customers. That night, Lily and her boyfriend return to the restaurant. She realizes who Kai is. When they try to leave, Kai forces them to drink the tea he served, but another couple arrives and they manage to escape. They go to the police, but without evidence, nothing can be done. Soon after, many locals suddenly fall ill with Ebola symptoms. All had eaten Kai's contaminated pies. Doctors performing autopsies confirm a serious outbreak. Kai steals money from the restaurant and tells the remaining staff he's heading back to Hong Kong. Once there, he blows the cash on 2 prostitutes, offering them extra to have unprotected sex and infecting them. The women fall sick and police question their madame, learning Kai was their last client. Working together, South African police, Hong Kong police, and Lily identify Kai as the source of the virus. Meanwhile, Kai reconnects with his ex-girlfriend, Har, who's married to an abusive drug addict and has a young daughter. Kai explains he fled years ago after killing 3 people and couldn't say goodbye. Har resists forgiving him until he shows her his money. Kai takes Har and her daughter shopping, recklessly spreading the virus everywhere, sneezing into a woman's open mouth, wiping his nose on store clothes, leaving saliva on an ice cream cup, and even sneezing in men's faces. Back home, Kai gives Har's husband money to leave her, but during an argument, he throws beer on him, infecting him too. The next day, everyone Kai exposed begins convulsing and showing symptoms. Lily spots Kai and follows him, but he corners her in an alley. She bites him and escapes, realizing she's been in contact with his infected blood. Har's husband also falls ill and convulses. Hong Kong police put on protective suits to capture Kai. Meanwhile, he's having sex with Har. The next morning, she learns from the news that Kai is the criminal spreading Ebola. She tricks him, locks him in the house, and escapes with her daughter to alert police. But Kai breaks free, grabs a knife, and takes the little girl hostage. Har tries to rescue her but suddenly shows symptoms and collapses. An officer shoots Kai in the leg, but he shoves the cop and spits on him. Cornered, Kai deliberately spreads the virus to everyone nearby. While trying to flee, he strangles Har's daughter to death. Another officer hits him with a tranquilizer dart, but Kai tears off his own flesh to avoid the effects. The inspector attacks, sets Kai on fire, and Kai, engulfed in flames, tries to ignite everyone around him until a car runs him over, and the inspector finishes him off with a gunshot. Medical teams rush to disinfect every place tainted with Kai's fluids and blood. Then we see a dog licking a piece of Kai's torn skin. In the final scene, a father eats ice cream with his little daughter. The girl lets the same dog lick her ice cream before tasting it herself, now contaminated. And that's how the movie ends. Kai's story shows how pure evil, when left unchecked, can spread like a virus, literally. Unlike other characters who seek redemption, Kai embodies selfishness, hatred, and a total lack of empathy. Throughout the film, his actions not only destroy lives, but unleash an unstoppable epidemic, all because of his twisted nature. It's an extreme, unapologetic movie, not for everyone. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like and subscribe for more shocking films like this. Big thanks for watching, and see you in the next review.